National Affairs Editor Javed Ansari with us for a quick reaction on the developments at the cabinet today. That was Jairam Ramesh, senior leader of the Congress, speaking about some of the other decisions that were made. But Javed, none of those ordinances have been pushed through.
Well, most certainly they appear to have done a rethink following the president's, following indications from the president house that the president would not give his signature. Since the president was not agreeable, they decided not to promulgate those ordinances. But the most significant one is the reservation for Jats. It has far-reaching political consequences, and this, much more than anything else that has been done today, has the political imprint and carries a lot of political weight behind it.
What are the implications as far as Rahul Gandhi's own, mission to see these pet legislations through? What are the implications there likely to be, Javed?
Look, Shiv, the Congress could still go back and say we tried our best, but due to certain we didn't have time and the opposition didn't allow Parliament to function. Therefore, we couldn't bring this. We kept pushing till the last. But due to certain legal and procedural issues, we couldn't get this through. So they still have a talking point. Of course, the question that people will ask in return is, for 10 years they've been in power, why wait till the very 11th hour before you think of bringing in an ordinance? So therefore, there are questions that Congress party cannot escape on this issue as well.
Very politically sensitive issue moved through the reservation for Jats in central government jobs. Coming as it does right before the elections, politically sensitive as well. Just break down for us, Javed, how important it is.
Look, it's politically very sensitive. The Jats are a very vocal lot in states in Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, Punjab, Western UP, and they are a very vocal lot. And they influence a large number of seats. And if they get swayed by this, then the Congress party's political fortunes in the heartland would receive a shot in the arm. This has been an issue which they've been agitating for a long time, and the Congress at the 11th hour, just on the eve of elections, they pushed this through. So now it depends on how can Congress encash it. If the Congress can sell this to the people like they did the loan waiver on the eve of the 2009 elections, there'll be political dividends at the end of the day for them.
Is the government or the Congress, are they stumbling in these last few days and weeks ahead of the elections, trying to do too much, Javed?
Well, it's a mad scramble, and I'm not sure if they're stumbling now. They've been stumbling for a long time. Yeah. They're trying to. They're trying to undo some of the things, retrieve some lost ground. Perhaps this is a case of too little, too late. They ought to have thought of all this much earlier and brought this through. But nonetheless, this Jat, the decision to go for Jat reservation in government jobs is a very important, politically very significant one, and the Congress will be hoping that they'll benefit politically from them.
In terms of the decision-making process, and given that the government has constantly been, accused of political and policy paralysis over the last few days, weeks and months, Javed, how many more decisions are we likely to see taken over the next few weeks leading up to the elections before the Code of Conduct actually kicks in?
Shiv, I'm afraid not many more now, because the Code of Conduct I'm given to believe will come in by the end of the week, this week sometimes, or perhaps at the end of the week. So there's hardly any time. There's very little that the government could do. This perhaps in many ways is the last hurrah of this government.
Thanks, Javed.